Hey, Bruce Naylor here, and welcome to the first installment of Spinning Vinyl Monthly. This is episode number 1, and I want to do these once a month and share with you my journey of collecting vinyl, what I've run into, the finds that I made, maybe some accessories, that kind of thing, but it's also just as much about you. I want to learn from you. I don't claim to be an expert in vinyl collecting. I come from a generation where vinyl was pretty much the only way we got music, or sometimes we got on 8-track or cassette, but for most of us, it was vinyl. And so my approach back then was just whatever music I wanted to buy, that's what I bought. I never thought about collectability, grading, all that kind of stuff. And now I've gotten back into vinyl. I make mistakes, and I probably overpay for some stuff. And that's just, I think, par for the course. And so I'm learning. And it's my journey with you. And I want to hear from you. Actually, very, very much I want to hear from you. What records you're buying, what you do to source records, that kind of stuff. And it's just more of a community thing where we can kind of talk back and forth. So if you're looking for an expert on grading and all that kind of stuff, I'm not your guy. I'm not. But I am somebody who's an enthusiast and is in the process of learning. And so, without further ado, let's get started. All right, the first album that I got this last month, Aja from Steely Dan. This was released in 1977. This is a first pressing in near mint condition. I bought it on eBay. Now, one thing I've learned very quickly about eBay sellers is to look at those ratings. And if they're under 99%, I just kind of steer clear of those folks. The vinyl itself was rated near mint. The cover is in really good condition. There's no splits. Corners are in good shape. This is a gatefold. Just really nice condition. I ran it through my spin clean cleaner, and just it was a fantastic album. And Deacon Jones, by the way, is one of the big hits on here, and it just comes alive. And I think it sounds different than the CD version or streaming version. There's just a warmth and a character to it that's amazing. But you can see it's actually in really nice condition. This is kind of how I do the records. I put them in these plastic little bags, and then I have these anti-static inner sleeves right here. And this just makes it so handy to grab a record, pull it out, throw it on the record player, and just enjoy the music. 1977 is when this released. And and when it comes to collecting records, I think a fair amount of us probably start by thinking about the records we had in our youth when we were younger. And this was from 1977, the year I graduated high school. And this was a chart topper back in the day. Excellent album, and I'm really thrilled to have it in my collection. Moving on. Jackson Browne's Running on Empty, also from 1977. This is Asylum Records. It was graded, the vinyl was graded near mint, or I'm sorry, VG plus, but really, I think more near mint. I mean, there's hardly any surface noise. There's a few pops and ticks and that kind of thing, but other than that, it's in excellent shape. The album cover is in pretty good condition. There's a slight split on the bottom, nothing too heavy duty. But any other notes on that? Oh yes, Running on Empty. The drumming is just phenomenal on this album. I'm really, really, this is an album I can kind of play over and over and over again and wear it out. But Jackson Browne's Running on Empty, one of the top albums again, 1977. See the theme here? I graduated high school in 77. Just a wonderful album, and it's a must-have for any collector of classic rock and roll. Okay. Foreigner. This is also a first pressing and created the album as near mint, also from, I believe, 1977. Yes. Two big hit singles on here, Running on Empty and Cold as Ice. I don't know how many times that played on the radio over and over and over again. And just, again, you can see that the album, there's a little bit of, you may not be able to see this on camera, but there's a little bit of ring wear on the album cover. It's not bad. To me, I mean, the album cover is very, very much a part of it. But I'm collecting more out of nostalgia right now, so I'm fine with that. Got it for a pretty good price, again, on eBay, a good seller, 100% rating. Album is just in phenomenal condition. Again, you see how I store them. Foreigner happened to be one of my favorite bands back in the 70s and early 80s. And they just did such an amazing job. And I'm so thrilled to have this record in my collection. Well, not every album I have is from 1975. And the next, Fleetwood Mac's self-titled Fleetwood Mac. This was certified platinum 7 times, or platinum certified 7 times. The number of hit songs on here. Some of the music was actually written before, I believe, Stevie Nicks ever came on board with Fleetwood Mac. But some of the songs, Say You Love Me, Over My Head, Rhiannon. What fantastic music. This is, let's see, a reprise record. So I believe this is a reissue, but it is from the 70s, I believe. Let's see, any other notes I have on this. Yeah, the vinyl was rated near mint. The cover was rated VG, very good. Yeah, not so much. There's definite ring wear on there. Again, I'm buying records based on probably nostalgia right now. I'm not as serious, what's it going to be worth as an investment over the years. There's people buying records. They're not even playing them. They're just they're just collecting them and hoping to maybe flip them for a profit or, something like that. Not me. I hope you guys don't either. I hope you are listening to your music and enjoying it. That's what these were meant to do, to be enjoyed. This is a wonderful album, and I think a must-have for anybody in classic rock and roll. It was a top-selling record, a number of hits, 7 times certified platinum record. Another excellent record to have in the collection. It's not a gatefold, but there are some liner notes inside. So just a wonderful addition. Okay. This is a must-have. This is another first pressing of Boston's Don't Look Back. And you can see the artwork and everything is just incredible on this album. They just did a fantastic job with that. It's Don't Look Back was just a monster selling album, and I believe it was from 1978. The record was graded EX triple plus, excellent, plus plus plus. Not so much. The vinyl, I had a lot of clicks and pops. There's some scuffing on the record. I ran it through the spin clean machine 3 times, and it's much better. It's playable. It's not great. It didn't really live up to excellent plus plus plus. But again, I'm kind of learning this rating system. For me, I think the bare minimum one is VG plus on a record. Near mint, people will claim records are near mint when they're not. That's just kind of par for the course. But what a great album. There's kind of interesting story to this. The drummer was, Tom Schultz, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He got into it with Epic Records, making this record before it was released because he felt it was too short. There was room to put another song on there, but Epic was in a hurry to get it out the door. And that started some type of lawsuits where I think they left the Epic label. But also, and here's another interesting little tidbit, one of the very first commercial CDs is Boston's Don't Look Back. However, due to a litigation going on with CBS, I think it was CBS Records at the time, there was just a very limited production run and it was pulled off the market. And I don't know what happened to those initial first pressings of the CDs. They might have been destroyed. I don't know what happened to them. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing that happened with Boston's Don't Look Back. Now, let's talk about negative experiences collecting. So I wanted a copy of Miles Davis Kind of Blue on vinyl. And when I got it, no, this, by the way, this is no fault of the seller, but I want you to take a look at this is brand new, by the way. This is a brand new issue. This is not, you can see that, you ought to see the box it came in. It was completely mauled. And of course, you can see the damage to the album cover all the way around. And let me see if I can get this out of here for you. Oh, what fun. Oh, yes. The dreaded, we're sorry from the Postal Service. It didn't make it through their machine very well, and the album got damaged. Fortunately, I was dealing with a reputable seller. It is ultimately their responsibility to get what you order from eBay or online to you in good condition. But they immediately just shot me out another record, and that one was just fine. I'm pretty much sticking to collecting classic rock for right now on vinyl, but I am still buying some CDs. This kind of thing is going to happen once in a while, is making sure you're dealing with a reputable seller. That's what's important. I did have to send photos of what happened. It's kind of a disappointment because it was an album I really wanted in my collection. But there you go. Let's just talk a little bit about accessories for just a moment. So when I was doing records back in the 70s and 80s, there was a company that made a cleaning product called Disc Washer. And it was a nice walnut handle, and you got fluid and you got a cleaning brush for the disc washer, and they just sold like hotcakes, and they did a reasonably good job. We didn't have the sophisticated record cleaning machines like we do today. We didn't have even spin cleaner or anything like that. Well, so what I picked up isn't a new disc washer, but rather the modern take, and it's called the Groove Washer. And it sells for $35 on Amazon. Let me just kind of show you what you get. One of the things that makes those a little bit unique, well, let me just show you. First off, you get a 4-ounce bottle of the G2 record cleaning solution. And you can, basically this will clean maybe 25, 30 records, or well, maybe even more than that. I'm not sure how many records this will clean. I know that the pad will probably need cleaned after about 20, maybe 25 record cleanings, but you get 4 ounces of this. It seems to be very, very good stuff. Nothing on there is going to hurt your record. The star of the show, however, is this brush. This is solid walnut, crafted walnut. The old dishwasher actually had a cutout there you would put your fluid in, and unfortunately it's not there. The pad can be removed and then washed, but look at the interesting pattern here on the pad. You'll see it has like little microfiber things coming out of there to get down into the grooves a little bit better. A lot of these inexpensive brushes are pretty smooth. So this actually does a pretty good job wet cleaning your record. Also included in the box is this right here. You put this over the record label while you're, protect it while you're cleaning. Not that I would probably use it much. I'm disappointed that there's not a little brush to kind of, just wipe it off. I have a cat and he's got hair everywhere. Yeah, but it is put you in a lot of mind of the disc washer of old. I think they still sell the disc washer, but it's different. And the one I seen on Amazon was like $89 or something like that. This was $35, and it's very much like the disc washer of old in most ways. It would be cool if they would, maybe there's a patent or something that they're not allowed to do that. I don't know. Anyhow, to wrap up, I look forward to your comments down below. I'd like to hear about your experiences collecting vinyl, the good, bad, the ugly, what you're collecting, where you source your records from. I live in a small town. It's quite a drive for any record store. Well, not too bad, maybe about 45 minutes or so. But nonetheless, probably a lot of the stuff I'm ordering is online through eBay, Amazon, and Discogs. So those are kind of the sources that I'm using. At any rate, Bruce Naylor, your Boomer Consumer. Can't wait to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.